It's the Frenemies Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dale. I'm with you live here on YouTube. I got my guys with me. The one who sucks, Kyle. What's up, man?
That's me. That's me. I'm in the house. I do owe you guys, so I missed you though. I really did. I missed both of you. Your ugly faces. It's true.
Oh, he's trying to crush on us now.
Yeah, trying to sweet talk us a little bit.
This
I know.
group, we all have a bromance. Okay, you don't have a show
Flowers.
together without a bromance.
Yeah, he's bringing in the flowers.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes, yes.
Uh-huh. And also, always with me, the hated Tim.
That's
What's
right.
up?
That's right. Yeah, he hates me so much. He's got the same haircut as I do.
Oh man.
Oh, I blame that one on my dad because I remember when I was young, man. I looked at my dad's graduation photo and he was bald,
Oh jeez.
and I made fun of his graduation photo so
Now,
much when
which
I was
graduation
young.
you talking about, Dan?
What graduation was he doing? How old was your dad when he graduated, Dale? Like 57?
No.
No, he was like 20s or something. It was his college graduation here,
All right.
and yeah,
All
he was
right.
bald, and I
We
made.
thought you were talking about middle school graduation.
Oh no.
Oh man.
But then he was like, yeah, come talk to me, when you're about 20 or something like that, and we have a
Yeah.
talk. And sure enough, his genes caught up with me, and I got that bald head now.
That's funny.
I'm right behind y'all. Don't worry.
Yeah, man, and enjoy those follicles while you got them, Kyle. All right.
This kid is making me lose it faster and faster. Bro.
Yeah,
He's
that's right.
6 months old and he's
Yeah.
screaming and kicking and kicking. It's awesome though. It's awesome.
Yeah, yep. I just noticed my background is still for the wrestling podcast, and it should not be. So let me
I saw
change that.
there's some
Yeah.
WrestleMania coming up that I
You
guess
know?
kind of looks cool. I never have gotten into wrestling, but
Yeah, we had had our wrestling podcast yesterday, the best in the world wrestling podcast. Okay,
oh
hashtag
nice.
BITW. The same podcast feed as this one. Check us out, please. But yeah, me and Brandon, man, we talked about WrestleMania. It's coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Y'all better check it out. This is the biggest show of the year. Okay, it's a Super Bowl for wrestling. Tell them.
Oh.
I don't
Right.
care. I don't care at all. I'm sorry, Dale.
He didn't wrestle in high school.
Yeah, clearly. All right, what you got to drink today, Kyle?
So I felt bad. I owe you guys. There's no Gatorade. I didn't put any
Oh.
Gatorade in it, but
All right.
I got straight shots of tequila.
Oh,
I owe y'all. I
Let's
miss you guys
go.
for real.
there you
So,
are.
cheers.
All
Love it.
right.
So, hey, they call it double a double neat. That's what they call it. If it's just in a
Yes.
glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, then
Okay.
the Coke, tequila and Coke chaser. Whoa.
I just didn't want we're live,
Whoa.
man. I didn't want my face to be
Yeah.
So what kind of tequila are we working with? Is it Margaritaville?
no. That was all about margarita.
Oh man.
We're gonna get that sponsored though. We're gonna get that
I-
sponsored.
I actually don't like Jose
Definitely.
Cuervo, but I got a free handle of it, and it's silver. So the
Oh.
Cuervo, the only one I can tolerate. Anything gold, especially Jose Cuervo gold,
Yeah.
terrible. But no, the
Yeah.
silver's not that bad. I'll drink silver tequila.
It's great.
Okay.
It's great.
Jose Cuervo Silver. All right. What's up, Tim? What you got?
Oh man, I saved this one just for this. I got
Oh
Yingling,
yeah.
baby. Got the
Love it.
Yingling in the house.
Oh, cool!
Right.
Right.
Very
Boom.
nice.
All right.
So one of my favorites.
The original Yingling, or what is this? The
OG.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
so organically grown.
Yeah. No, I don't care about all that crap. You had it wrong, dude.
Yeah, I'm about that Hershey Yingling. I mean that
Yeah, that's a good one.
real
Hershey
good.
Rivers.
Yep. All right, I am rolling with the Day Drinker from Lost 40 Brewing once again. It did me good last time, so we rolling with it once more.
Oh, yeah.
Lost 40 Brewing, holla at your boy. You know, you in Margaritaville, like we can get down, baby. I'm telling you.
So we just witnessed you open it. That's your one beer for the week. Is that
There you go.
You're gonna sip on it like 3 sips this show,
There you
2
go.
sips the next show.
You know me so well. We gotta
Yeah.
keep these beers for the show.
Yeah.
So. All right, it's gotta
But-
be important, man.
I want to start a new thing now that we're live on video.
Okay.
What shirt you got on, Kyle? What's your shirt say?
Oh,
You know what? My
Yeah.
shirt reminds me
Yeah.
of a time, a better time, a time with Drew Brees.
Oh, okay.
2018 NFC South champions.
Sure,
We're
you're
repping the
right.
South. This is one of my favorite shirts of all time. We're not going to talk about what happened in the playoffs. We'll move on, but still love the shirt. Had a great season. Can't be mad at that. So
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that one, man. That's a real good one there.
yeah,
Well, that's like one of those SpongeBob things, you know. A long time ago.
yes.
It wasn't
Yeah,
that long
that's
ago. It
five-
wasn't that long.
5 years ago, man.
5
Jeez.
years.
It
5
wasn't that
years.
long. He could still fit the shirt. That's all I know. Okay.
Barely, man. Barely.
It's a long time gauging whether you can still fit the shirt or not.
Hey,
Like,
if
That's
you can
true.
still fit the shirt, it's good. It's not faded. This has been a recent shirt here. Okay.
Little dandruff on it, but yeah, no fade, no nothing like that.
yeah, I could wear this shirt 2,000 wings ago.
Oh, why you gotta do that, man? Now I'm hungry. Now we're going down that road. Like we're supposed to be talking football. I'm not supposed to be thinking wings.
Well, in keeping with the WrestleMania week, I am wearing John Cena. Never
Oh
give up.
yeah.
Nice.
So,
All right. All
Isn't that
right.
guy-
That's-
isn't that
that's
guy
the roll
from
to
China or something? He's Chinese. No, that's not him.
no, man, I got this straight from the WWE shop. All right. It's legit.
I got the Never Forget Pluto. Let's see here.
That's
Pluto!
money.
Oh.
Money.
That's right. Never forget it, baby.
2006. You know, my heart's with you, Pluto. We still love you.
76 years of existence.
There's a there was an episode of what is it? Hang on it. Rick and Morty.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Where they talk about Pluto not being a planet anymore. Okay.
Yep, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal, okay? Big deal. So Pluto. All right, well, we got our first little comment here. And this is from
Uh-oh.
Craig. He's
Yeah.
saying play the Friends theme song on the show. And so we have a response for that.
no.
No.
Yeah.
He's always hitting us up in the group text trying to get us to do the Friends theme song. So
We will continue the tradition of not playing that song. Okay.
I continue to try to say that I don't like They'll that much. I don't like him enough to have a joyous theme song. It should be like dong, like the bells ringing, Hell's Bells or something starting out. Tim has to deal with Dale.
Oh. All right. Well, this week, not this year, my goodness, this week, we are talking NFC NFC East. Good Lord. I actually typed West.
Yeah. It's the East though. Those teams are in the
Ow.
East. Yeah.
Man,
Okay. We're talking NFC East and NFC North. We're going to talk about free agency moves, things that happened, just general outlook on the team, guys that may be moving up the ladder, guys may be going down. So yeah, let's jump right into this thing, man. Let's start off with Philadelphia Eagles. They lost, a few players, some starters for sure. But they did get some pieces back, and I thought they did a pretty good job of trying to balance their losses without, going out in free agency spending a ton of money. But let's look at some of their key losses. Miles Sanders, their starting running back. TJ Edwards, one of their top linebackers. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle.
That's a big one.
That's
definitely.
a pretty big loss as well. So I think what they're going to end up doing is trying to address some of these losses in the draft. You can't do everything in the draft because, hey, they're rookies. If you're banking on them to actually be starters and definitely be contributors, I think you're kind of setting yourself up for loss. But it brought that back in Fletcher Cox at the defensive tackle spot, which is going to help a lot because he's a vet. And so you bring in a young guy to go along with your vet. And I think you can manage that on a defensive line. Of course, you're going to need rotational guys. So they brought back Brandon Graham. I'm sorry. The defensive end. He's always been a pretty good rusher. He's not leading the league in sacks or anything like that, but he's definitely solid. And you bring in a couple of young guys to go along with them. I think the defensive line can continue to be solid. A linebacker, they drafted Nakobe Dean last year. He didn't play a lot his rookie year, but he's going to have to be ready this time because I think he's going to be the guy that fills in for TJ Edwards. Just looking at Fantasy Pros, they have Nakobe Dean listed as a linebacker 19, so they're definitely expecting him to be a starter. And really looking at their depth chart, I want to say he's listed as their day one starter there on defense. Yep, in the middle. So Hassan Reddick is always going to give you a lot of good plays too, pass rush, different things like that. I did like the addition of Nicholas Morrow as well. He's not going to be a difference maker at linebacker, but definitely a solid contributor. And if you see him out there as a free agent, you're probably going to end up picking him up during the season. It should be noted that they have two different coordinators, offensive and defensive coordinators. So the defensive philosophy may change. That's yet to be seen. Offensively, I got to believe the philosophy is going to stay the same because the head coach, I think he directs a lot of the direction for the offense. But yeah, what are you guys thinking here about Philadelphia and the moves they made during free agency here?
Honestly, after losing a Super Bowl, like you feel like your whole team is just, everybody's out of there. Like it is so hard to come back the year after losing a Super Bowl. But like the ones that stick out to me, like you re-sign Jason Kelce. Like that's obviously first things first, address, the leader of the O-line. And then you have Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox. Like those three signings, like re-signing those three guys, I feel like, your whole idea, I guess maybe, those three are like the centerpieces of your offense and your defense. Like the sky is the limit when you have, the O-line and the D-line still, strong, and you're, and you got Jalen Hurts. Like, really, you can put pieces around him. I feel like you address the O-line, you address the D-line. They did that. Dude, I feel like they're already looking good. They're already looking solid, for losing a Super Bowl and having to come back the following year with that hangover. Dude, they're looking great to me. So,
okay. You got anything on this, Tim?
I think they did pretty good about replacing Miles Sanders with Rashad Penny. I really like that signing right there. Penny's been hurt quite a few years in the past, but we're kind of coming around the age where ACL tears don't they're not career ending anymore for sure. So, but letting Miles Sanders go and getting Penny was pretty much a 1-for-1 swap, but way cheaper price tag. And I believe, I was trying to look it up right now, but I believe they kept most of their offensive line. I think there's a couple of offensive line moves here that we don't have right now, but I recall they're keeping a couple of other offensive line guys that they paid out. So the offensive line is going to stay the same, and that's pretty hot.
Yeah, they gave Lane Johnson another extension, if I'm not mistaken. That was the last move they made there.
Yeah, that was it. And so I'm looking for Penny and Gainwell to be a pretty good running back by committee. I'm looking for both of them to do pretty good next year. It's a high-scoring offense, and they do have new coordinators on both sides of the ball, but I like what you were saying earlier too. The head coach does kind of dictate what type of formats you're going to use and stuff like that, for offense and defense. But I think that they're still going to score a lot of points. And
Yep, they promoted the offensive coordinator from within. He was the former quarterback coach. So I got to imagine we're running the same kind of system. And again, Nick Sirianni's going to have his hands all over the thing. But I looked at the rankings for running backs with Philly, and they have Kenny Gainwell at running back 42, Penny at running back 43. They're right around each other, but they're pretty low. I believe they're going to end up drafting another running back to go along with these guys. And I mean, who knows if he's going to be the guy before these guys, but I believe they're going to add somebody else into the running back mix, and we'll see who comes out to be the top dog there.
you think first round, second round? Where do you think they might draft their?
No, I'm thinking, third, fourth round, something like that. Teams rarely use the first rounder on running backs, and you're looking at with the guy from Texas at being the only running back being considered to be taken in the first round. But I don't think the Eagles are going to do that, especially picking with number 10. So definitely not going to take one that high. So.
Yeah. Well, they might trade down. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely possible.
But yeah, they're picking number 10. They'll probably go defense, man. They might grab that defensive end.
I mean, yeah, you could add a D tackle or something like that. Would be a solid pickup with the 10th overall. That's
if that Georgia defensive tackle gets down there, like they're gonna run the card up.
I'm just thinking, damn, man, he did this on purpose. The Eagles went out and said, hey, man, go, take this car and speed. And
Where'd they get that number 10 pick from?
Hey, come on, man. Come on.
Where'd that come from?
CJ Gardner-Johnson, was that it?
Sorry.
So, all right, let's move to the next team. We got Dallas, also bringing in another offensive coordinator. But so here's the funny thing about this one, right? Brian Schottenheimer is the hire at offensive coordinator. Last year, he was a consultant for the Cowboys, and so what he probably was telling the owner was like, you probably should change your offense. I'll go out and find you a good offense coordinator. I got a guy in mind.
Yeah.
But get rid of that guy. He got rid of the guy. Was like, you know what? I'm going to bring you be offense coordinator, and I'm going to fix this crap. And so that's what they did. They brought in a consultant. Consultant never leaves you wrong. Never leads you wrong. So that's what we got.
That's what. Yeah, they never lead you wrong.
Yeah.
They always lead you wrong. Totally opposite. Oh man.
It's like when Bush let Cheney do his VP search, and he found himself.
He found himself. I'm the best guy. Duh. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Then he shot his buddy in the face.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget about that. Never forget that. We're out hunting. I'm going to shoot you in the face.
Look, wait, that movie was interesting. That Cheney movie. That was interesting.
Yeah, I was just about to say I never watched that. Sounds like something I got to watch.
Yeah, for real.
I watched it about a year ago, and it was pretty good. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, Dallas Cowboys. Some of their big losses. Of course, they lost Zeke by cutting him.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz signed a contract elsewhere.
I think this is a fake move right here. That a bad move that Dallas let him walk, man.
Schultz.
Yeah. Didn't he? He signed like $4 million a year or something. Was that small? It was something small, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a big contract. Let's see.
And it was with Houston, wasn't it? I
think
Houston signed him. Okay.
And the amount of money though, you were kind of like, why didn't you keep him for that amount of money?
Yeah, I was with you. 1 year, looks like 4.5. Sorry, $6 million guaranteed.
Oh, $6 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, that's still pretty low.
It's still affordable, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
overall.
for a up and coming tight end. Like this guy is young.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. They're
You just
probably
let him walk.
aren't they thinking that he was just a system guy? Like he
That's
could be
probably
like a
what they think.
Jawan Johnson type guy. Who knew Jawan Johnson before last year? And he came out, had all these scores.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that Dalton Schultz is this Travis Kelsey type guy, Mark Andrews. No, I'm not sold on that. I feel
No,
like it was more
he's
the offense.
yeah, he's not that dude, but he is a good tight end. Like
Yeah.
like
I-
tight end is a wasteland out there, man.
Yeah.
And
Yes, it
you
is.
had a guy that was legit, and he could catch the ball, and he produced for you, and he still didn't break the bank. $6 million guaranteed. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let me look at tight end contracts because
I will tell you one thing I put my money on is Jerry Jones being a dumbass. All right, I'll tell you that right now.
Wow,
I mean,
shocker.
You know, he let DeMarco Murray walk, and he was right about that. And then he went and paid Zeke. He was wrong about that.
I mean, Zeke had,
Should have paid Zeke. As soon as this happened with Eddie Lacy too. All right, I swear it's mom's cooking. They got that one off season. They get all the money. They buy mom a house or move mom in and all that crap. And she starts cooking, and all of a sudden he gets chubby and slow and all the things. That happens.
the highest cap number for a tight end is 18 million. That's Kittle. Like Dalton Schultz is like way down there in cap numbers. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, man. Because like the guy was legit, man. So
what's the next Cowboys depth chart?
I'm curious what Jawan Johnson got paid. I mean, that's somebody who's not like a big name who had a real strong year.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I feel like he's kind of right in the middle of like the higher end tight end market, but
I believe what they're going to end up doing at tight end is going with Jake Ferguson. They have him ranked as the tight end 37. He did play probably the most out of the other tight ends in Dallas. I think Dallas just figure it's like just swap them out. It don't matter who it is.
Yep.
Tight end, go out there and catch the ball. We don't care what your name is. So.
We're gonna lose anyway.
Looking at another addition that they made pretty recently, that was trading for Brandon Cooks. They have him ranked as the wide receiver 50. He's definitely going to increase in value because you're going to a team with a quarterback, but I still believe he's going to be an inconsistent wide receiver. But maybe as far as a wide receiver 3 as his ceiling, maybe. I believe there's going to be spike weeks. I still think Lamb is going to be the number one guy in Dallas. But if you had, what is this guy's name?
Gallup?
Yeah, Gallup. Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
It's definitely time to let go of that because I believe he gets out of the starting lineup. He has a hard time staying healthy anyway.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah, I don't see him really staying in Dallas too much longer. Maybe this season is his last year or something.
Yeah.
They did do some upgrading in the defensive back room, trading for Stephon Gilmore, re-signing Donovan Wilson. I think their secondary is going to be pretty okay. They always got young linebackers coming in, and they re-signed Van Der Esch to compete too. So
they do have they've been good at picking linebackers, man. Sean Lee, Van Der Esch, and
Michael Parsons. Yeah.
Parsons, yeah, dude.
Yep.
That was a steal, just a steal, man.
Yep. They also have Damone Clark, former LSU linebacker, who Craig said wasn't going to amount to anything because he had a broken neck.
Exactly.
He's actually starting in the NFL. And Craig was wrong because Craig is wrong a lot. Okay,
Look, Dale goes, and Craig said.
that's right.
It's kind of like a
Never
list of
gonna
all
let
the
him
things
forget
Craig
this.
said.
Never gonna let him
On
forget this.
September 4th at 2:42 p.m., he texted and said this.
Never gonna let him forget this. Okay,
I'm
Craig was
thinking,
so wrong.
I'm thinking about Will Ferrell when he opened up that little baby tiny cell phone. Remember that on SNL? Yeah, look it up. It's funny. So,
So,
it's
so
Dale.
yeah, um, that's all I got here on Dallas. Anybody got anything to add with Dallas here?
I just want to say Tony Pollard is
Mm,
he's gonna be
Yes,
that dude.
yes.
And this is a fantasy show, so let's point out the obvious. That's your fantasy starter.
Mhm.
If you smoke him if you got him. I'm looking at Pollard next year to break out.
Do you think they go with a rookie too to go along with him?
That would be nice, wouldn't it? I
well,
feel
they,
like that's kind of how they had it with Zeke and Pollard back there.
Right.
Now he's the lead back. Now he's running the show. It would be nice to kind of work in a rookie and just have him here and there. He's not the main guy. Sounds good to me. That's
well, I think that if they were going to get a rookie, they would not have signed Ronald Jones.
yeah. I
Ronald
mean,
Jones. Tim,
I,
you holding out hope for Ronald Jones, bro? That's what you doing? You keeping the candle lit for him?
I like it. I like it better when I call you out on shit you do. I did have a love thing for Ronald Jones for a while. Got tired of my heart being broken.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a thing. You can let go of that. You'll be all right. I promise.
heartbreak is tough, man. It's tough.
All right, New York Giants. The only big piece they lost looks like they're an interior offensive lineman,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Feliciano. Um, so I believe they're going to end up addressing this in the draft because you gotta do something to protect this quarterback and protect your running back because they re-signed Saquon Barkley, but if you're not going to give him an offensive line,
No,
I don't know how effective he's gonna be, and
What's
he's
the
already
point?
struggling to stay healthy. You
Yeah.
got to do it.
they tagged Barkley. They didn't sign him.
Yeah, that's
They tagged
valid.
him.
Valid point.
Yeah,
Valid
yeah. I'm
point.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
This year the running back tag was so low that almost all the teams that had a good running back used their tag on them.
Hmm.
It was 10 million, I think 10.3. So it's like way under what they're all going to be asking for, and so
Yep. So, as far as wide receivers, just looking at their depth chart, man, it looks pretty scarce there. I mean, you've got like Wandell Robinson still hanging out.
Yeah.
He showed some promise. They started getting a little bit high on this guy, Isaiah Hodgins.
yeah,
They signed him to an extension, but I believe the biggest move they made in the offseason was trading for Darren Waller. He
Yeah.
comes in being the number one target, like straight up. There's no
Yeah.
competition there.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yep.
And so I think that was a wonderful landing spot for him. Another acquisition they made at wide receiver was Paris Campbell. There was a lot of hope for
That's
him in
yeah, but
Indianapolis.
that could be a sneaky good pickup if they
Right.
get their offense together and he's on and I don't know. I always liked him. He never really got to his potential in Indy. But
Yeah.
I mean, who was throwing him the ball?
Right. That's been a
Even
problem.
Daniel Jones, as low as I am on Daniel Jones, I still think he's better than anybody that was playing in Indianapolis. So
Yep.
You think they're a good location? I think they're a pretty good location for some wide receiver to pop in.
oh yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
they get a wide receiver early.
Yeah, they may end up drafting wide receiver early, but a guy like Paris Campbell can come in and get some snaps. Just looking at their depth chart still, you got a guy like Sterling Shepard who can't stay on the field. I remember drafting this guy back in 2016 or something on my fantasy team
Right.
in the first round. It's been terrible, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that guy just can't stay healthy. I mean, Robinson, he showed promise. I just don't know what to make of it yet. I don't trust Hodgins at all.
No.
Slayton was a guy who popped up and dealing with injuries. I don't believe him.
No.
So a rookie makes sense there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I'm just looking at their draft picks. They got the 25th.
Yeah, I was gonna say somewhere around 20, mid-20s, so 25.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a solid position to pick up a wideout. I mean, I don't feel like this draft class is as loaded as last year's.
Yeah,
Obviously,
right.
with the top ones being Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. How did they do this season?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, still, that's not a terrible spot for a wideout. Maybe the guy from TCU, something like that, would be cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, the next team to wrap up the NFC East, we're talking Washington Commanders. They brought in a new offensive coordinator, Eric BSnBEER, the former
Bieniemy,
Kansas City offensive coordinator.
Not
Assistant
bad.
coach.
Yeah, we're going to see if he can get it all done without Andy Reid. I know that's the reason why he left, because everybody keeps talking about Andy Reid's offense, and he's the guy calling the plays. But
True.
they got to get out that shadow, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
The losses there, Cole Holcomb, linebacker. They lost Taylor Heineke, backup quarterback.
Yeah.
They picked up Brissett as a backup quarterback. Well, exactly, really to compete with Sam Howell for the starting quarterback, because you have no idea who's going to be the starting quarterback in Washington. I do expect them to go quarterback in the draft pretty high, is because this is a wide open spot. Their defense is loaded. They re-signed Payne to the defensive line.
Yep.
He's going to be a force. When Chase coming back, I see nothing but disaster trying to run against this defensive line. And just based off of that, man, I expect them to be a run-heavy offense, because you don't have a quarterback, you got a solid defense. You might as well play ball control offense. And so I think they're going to add to the running back room. I know they have Pierce, and I know they drafted the running back out of
Brian
Alabama,
Robinson.
Brian Robinson last year.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get shot, that's a solid option as your RB1. I loved what I saw him from him.
Well, they still got Antonio Gibson too.
Antonio Gibson, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Also, they got the 16th pick in the draft, so that's high enough to get a quarterback, like you're saying.
Yep.
So we're good.
I feel bad for guys like McLaurin and Dotson and Curtis Samuel. They got a great wide receiving core.
They do, yeah.
They do.
It's star-studded, man.
Like, yo, go trade for Lamar. Lamar Jackson.
That would be a perfect landing spot. Please, God. That would be amazing. He could go to Washington, and then he wouldn't go to Atlanta or Tampa Bay, which are two of like the main spots that he's looking at, and just like literally haunts me in my dreams. So yeah, Washington, obviously, like that is a solid pick with that wide receiver core. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. This is a solid team, honestly. Well, I can't really speak for this offensive line too much, because I'm not Craig, so
he doesn't have current up to date weekly grades of O-line play.
I don't have that. So, but look, their skill players look pretty good. So maybe they get tight end and maybe a running back, but yeah, definitely going quarterback in this draft, I believe. So the Washington Commanders. So let's go on. Oh, go ahead.
Who do you guys think, honest to God, Andy Reid or Eric BSnBEER? We're watching the Super Bowl, and you see they run this play over here, and it goes for a touchdown. And then they totally trick them out, and they run it over here, and that goes for a touchdown again. Who was it?
Yeah.
Who was in Patrick Mahomes' ear saying, "Hey, let's do this"?
We gonna find out.
Tell you, I don't know.
We're gonna
Like
find
that's
out.
one thing that's kind of Washington's offense. I mean,
You know, 'cause I'm guilty as well as watching this thing and being like, man, Andy Reid designed some stuff in the red zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First thing I'm saying. So yeah, I'm guilty.
I believe Andy Reid. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
I'm thinking the same
Yeah.
thing. I'm thinking it's
So-
Reid, but we'll see if they can get a quarterback. Maybe Richardson or somebody like that guy from Florida. Maybe Levis from Kentucky. Maybe they're still there at 16, and you take that and you just you hit on that with the wide receivers that you have. It could be.
Levis would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time putting a rookie in there and then saying,
I
"Yo,
know.
rookie, you better be good."
Oh,
You
yeah. Anytime.
Maybe
better
that's
be good to start off
the Brissett signing where it's like we're gonna play Jacoby.
Yeah.
He's gonna play. We saw what he did last year in Cleveland. He's an NFL quarterback. He can manage a game with our defense. We can hang in. I don't know. That could be. They could be looking for a quarterback in the first round. That sounds good.
Well, they got Sam Howell there. I don't think it's going to be Brissett.
I don't know about Howell.
I think Howell's going to be their number one.
Hey, it's a second-year quarterback. We'll see what he got, but
true.
you got beat out of that. So good luck.
Yeah, exactly. A battle-tested. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
let's go over to the NFC North here, and let's start off with Chicago. Key additions: Dante Foreman, the running back, who came over from the Panthers. They got DJ Moore, the wide receiver from the Panthers.
And the backup
Robert
quarterback
Tonyan.
from the Panthers. They just stole three offensive guys from Carolina.
That's right.
Like the only three successful ones, really.
They devoted all of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What chain? This is my chain.
Let's see.
Robert Tonyan's on that list of additions that I kind of like. They got that guy Komet. It doesn't, looks like he's still.
Cole Kmet, the tight end. Yeah.
Looks like he's still there. So not like it wasn't like a need.
Right.
But I feel like you have two solid tight ends.
You're like nice and deep there.
Yep.
It's still kind of questionable though, man. Cole Kmet's been pretty good, so signing Tonyan is just kind of a weird scenario for me.
Well, you can run a two tight end set now and have two threats out in the receiving game. So if you want to bring Chase Claypool, back to the bench and just run with Moore and Mooney, and these two tight ends, they could do that.
They definitely made up for the Claypool trade with this
It
trade.
kind of sounds like a sitcom, Moore and Mooney.
Yeah.
That's a nice little 1-2 punch. I like it. Moore's definitely the one, and Mooney's a solid 2. So, but that's if Fields actually threw the ball. So what are we talking about here?
Hey,
what wide receiver?
he's got guys to throw the ball to now.
I know.
Before he didn't have anybody to throw the ball to. Mooney got hurt, and that was it.
Dale's on that midnight train all the way to Chicago over there with Fields. He's got the picture of Fields out.
Kyle, are you buying Fields right now in fantasy? Are you making that trade?
This is a fantasy show, man.
Don't do it.
This is a fantasy show. Do you know the points that Justin Fields put up last year?
I'm trying to tell you.
Tim, you made a whole spreadsheet on here.
I made a
Pull up that
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet, Tim.
Yeah, I got it. I'll finish it out for the year. I forgot to finish the season, but Fields ain't that good. Ain't that good.
I know, but somehow it's just there's points on the board, and whether it be garbage time, Drew Brees in his career, he had a ton of garbage time points.
They all count, baby.
Still
They all
counted,
count.
yeah. I will take garbage time points, but
they're always playing from behind, so you do have that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you do have that.
That's true, but
So,
there could be a shift in the North. And so are they really going to be playing from behind all the time now?
Yeah. Also, though, they got Deonta Foreman here now.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that Khalil Herbert was going to step up in the role, and I think he will. I think Foreman's just an added piece.
He's a bigger back. I mean, he's a thunder to his lightning. So I see them working both backs in there. Because Khalil Herbert was a beast coming out the backfield for passes too. So
He looks
I
great.
see that doing it. I see them doing that. Another big pickup on defense. Well, they got T.J. Edwards from the Eagles, and they got Tremaine Edmonds from the Bills. So they solved their linebacking problems. And so the defense always been, pretty solid. And so with these guys stepping in, I don't think they're gonna lose very much on defense. Just hope that the offense can turn that corner and start being consistently productive. And so that way the defense doesn't have to do as much. So.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Who do you think is your big pickup for the season off this roster here? Who do you think's benefiting so far the most, Kyle?
I mean, I would. You can obviously give it to Tremaine Edmonds. You needed a linebacker to come in and play well with losing Roquan Smith. That's a good one. T.J. Edwards is another good one. But DJ Moore is he's a wide receiver one no matter where he goes to me.
Yeah.
I feel like Carolina didn't have the offense to kind of support him in a fantasy format to where he's really a top 5 wideout every week. Mm-hmm. But he still was getting his targets, getting his collections, and he's still making a difference. I feel like if he was on a different type of offense, he's a top 5 receiver every week.
I mean, he hadn't had a quarterback since camp.
Since college, man. I don't know.
Since pro day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I don't know. DJ Moore might be the number one for me. I just feel like that number 1 overall pick, trading back and getting more for that is always what I would want to do. So I love to see that. I hated how they gave it to the Panthers, but the number 1 pick, trading it off, getting additions and getting more draft value, that was honestly money to me. So
they moved down 8 positions to the 9th.
Yeah, I mean that's still that's not even
sick.
Yeah, I love to see that. Yeah.
And they got a 2nd round pick out of it too, and I mean, yeah, these kind of trades that make me jealous.
Honestly, I feel like Mooney should be ahead of Chase Claypool. To me,
yeah,
Chase Claypool has had some good years, but Mooney was a better wideout overall. That's just me, but
I mean, I'm with you. I think Mooney is the better wide receiver. That's why I said Chase Claypool come to the bench.
Yeah. Exactly, with that two tight end set. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Mooney's a better slot wide receiver though, in the slot.
Yeah.
So that fits him well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think going for value, I think Mooney is the pick here out of the Bears. I do think DJ Moore is going to be pretty good. I think they're going to pass a lot more than they did this year, and so Mooney's probably going to get the biggest benefit overall, value-wise.
So you're saying you're buying Justin Fields, is what you're saying?
No, he did not say that.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
I didn't say that.
with his eyes. He said it with his eyes.
I'm not going to say anything that makes Dale correct. He can never pull me out in the Craig book and go, Tim said this on this day, if I just don't say it.
Don't worry. I'm pretty sure I'll figure something else out for you too.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to Detroit. They got a few different additions. Mm-hmm. David Montgomery, the running back from the Bears. Big surprise because they let go Jamal Williams and brought in David Montgomery. I didn't really see this as a big upgrade. Mm-hmm. It's a parallel move to me, and you just paid a bunch of money for it. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
What was Montgomery's contract compared to Jamal Williams?
I believe it's just about the same deal.
It's the same thing with Dalton Schultz. It's you let him walk, and then he just gets paid an amount that you found reasonable to pay him. It's what are these teams doing? Sometimes I just don't understand these.
I think Montgomery's much younger though. I think Jamal Williams is 28 or something, and Montgomery's way younger than that. I think Montgomery's this is his 2nd contract.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put him at 24. Is that?
So Montgomery is a 3-year deal.
Mhm.
Looks like almost $9 million guaranteed. Let's look
Hmm.
at Jamal
That's,
Williams.
I mean,
3 a year.
sounds more than what Jamal Williams got paid.
Let's see, Jamal Williams got 3 years, 8 million guaranteed.
Oh my god! So they paid an extra million for what? Like just
Right, right.
But also they got DeAndre Swift coming back, so
Yeah. hmm
I mean, no matter what, either one, whether it's Montgomery or Williams, it's still a number 2. But
mhm.
you know,
Well, Montgomery's 25, and Williams is I think he's 28. Let me double check
yeah,
that.
well, because Williams was in Green Bay and then he was in Detroit, and now he's with his third team.
Yeah,
Montgomery was strictly with the Bears, as far as I know. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So another addition for the Lions, CJ Gardner Johnson, someone we're very familiar with here in New Orleans.
yeah,
He ends up with Detroit, solving a big problem in their secondary. They actually got some cornerbacks too. Cameron Sutton from the Steelers,
yeah,
Emmanuel Mosley from the 49ers.
Mhm.
You can't go wrong adding to that defensive back room because that was the big problem with the Lions. Their defense. So fixing that defense was key. They lost Jamal Williams, of course, at running back, and they lost DJ Chark,
yeah.
who went to the Panthers. Michael Brockers, I think he remains unsigned, but he's been a loss. It looks like they re-signed Anzalone too, another guy
Yeah.
we're familiar with in New Orleans.
Right.
So, what's your outlook here on Detroit here, Kyle?
Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Oh, I think Detroit. I was kind of thinking about this earlier today too. Is that Detroit's going to be they're going to be strengthening up their defense. I don't think they're going to have to score as many points this year as they did last year. So I expect their offense to take a hair back, and take a half a step back, and their defense to step up quite a bit. Aiden Hutchinson coming through
Yeah.
like he did. That was a pretty good surprise for me. I mean, he's taunted as being pretty good, and sometimes I don't listen to the hype, and that was one of the moments. So I didn't expect him to actually do good, but he was doing well, man.
Yeah.
And so their defense is probably going to step up a little bit, causing their offense to not have to score so many points. And they're not an offense I'm buying more pieces of this year. If you're in Dynasty,
Really? You're not?
I'm not buying more of these. I already bought them last year.
You talking about Jameson Williams, maybe?
Yeah, I got Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra, so I don't like having two pass catchers on the same team.
But
I like to-
Tim,
Yep,
like hot off the presses,
yep.
the Lions signed Marvin Jones
Yes.
Jr.
Oh, that's
They
right.
did,
That's
yeah.
right.
This
You're
is
not-
your
you're not
guy,
losing
Tim.
much
Oh,
with
man.
DJ Chark
Oh,
going,
yeah.
but you still have. I mean, Jameson
So-
Williams only played a few games last year, right? Is that
Yeah, but
he came in way late?
he came in hurt. He was hurt, but when he got drafted, which
So-
made him fall.
I mean, it's
But-
like you're getting a new wideout at that point, right?
Yeah, and here's the key that y'all don't know is that I had Marvin Jones for a lot of years, and when he was playing on the Lions, and I was pushing Marvin Jones on everybody that would listen, and I traded him away. I did.
He was a
I'm
used
successful.
car.
It was the used car I was trading away that year, and so that's why Dale's got these jokes because I would hit up Dale every week. Hey, you want to trade for Marvin Jones? And he'd tell me no, and
Yeah, we had a whole thing going between Marvin Jones and who's the other wide receiver they had in Detroit?
I don't even know.
Kenny Galladay.
That's
Oh yes,
Yeah.
back when he
I
was
was-
good.
Galladay.
Yeah.
I was team
Wow.
Kenny Galladay all day. He was team Marvin Jones.
it. Yeah.
Okay, and so whenever somebody caught a touchdown, we texted each other back and forth.
We did. But we both lost out on the long run
Yeah, for sure.
on that because Galladay turned us into a bunch of fools
Yeah.
over there
Yeah.
at the Giants, and
You did, yes.
Marvin Jones didn't really do anything with the Jaguars. He was on the Jaguars, right, Kyle?
Marvin
Yeah.
Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it was on the Jaguars. So I don't. Yeah, it's what it is.
Yep.
But he's coming back home. He's going to retire. Duh. That's what you always do.
So, but what's your outlook here with Goff? I mean,
Yeah.
I like his weapons a lot.
Trade him. Trade Goff now.
Jesus,
Wow.
why?
Trade him.
Why would you do that?
Because this is the most you're going to get for Goff right now. This is the most he's worth ever right now.
I mean, yeah, either that or like, how many years has he been in the league? Like, he's looking at like, almost somewhere between 5 and 10. Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah.
He's a former number 1 overall pick, so you know the talent's there.
Mhm.
Yep.
But now he's been in the league long enough to see like what is actually going on, how you win games, like how to, honestly, he could be like a veteran quarterback and just be a game manager and just, they could have a great team. He wouldn't be a great fantasy pickup. We're not really, we're not worried about his fantasy value, but like he could be that veteran quarterback that steps in and the lines are good again, and everybody loves to see it.
He's a
minus
meantime.
Packer fans.
I think Goff, like you're saying, is a veteran quarterback. I don't think he's going to take you all the way. If he gets you to a divisional championship, you're doing pretty good. And I think that's why McVay was like, we're going to trade this guy away. But I think he's hit his top mark on what he's going to be worth ever since he left the Rams. And so, if you got him, trade him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's that used car salesman saying, "Sell high, sell high."
So like you're not even gonna get the points for this year. Like, I really think he's gonna have a good year this year.
I'm gonna trade now. I want to trade before the value goes down. You want to trade at peak value. You don't want to trade on the way out. You got to talk people into it when on the way out. See, he's going down.
You're saying that Detroit is not a contender. You trade away your starting quarterback, your veteran quarterback. Who you left with? Nate Sudfeld? What? No. Who's going to play quarterback or are you still rebuilding? Because I feel like they've been rebuilding for a decade.
We're talking about fantasy, brother. This is a fantasy show.
That's
This is a fantasy show.
That's true.
I love you, Kyle. I mean, I know you're still stuck in like Back to the Future with that shirt on.
But 5 years ago, half a decade ago.
Oh, goodness.
But we're just talking fantasy, man. If you got him and you own him in Dynasty, it's time to trade him.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody believe in him.
All right. Let's go to the next team. We're looking at the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, that's right.
This is a pretty incomplete grade, honestly, because of one person where everybody's waiting on, because we have to wait on this person because he's very important.
Every year.
Every year.
So stupid, man.
Are we actually waiting?
He's Favre 2.0, man.
Every year we're waiting on the quarterback for Green Bay to make a decision about something or something to happen with this quarterback. Every year.
Yes.
Are we actually waiting to see what will happen, or do we know what's going to happen and it just has not happened yet?
I will say the Jets are like, you know what? We might trade y'all these 2 second-round picks or 2 first-round picks or whatever it is that you're asking for, but you're not getting this year's draft picks.
I heard that they just offered a third, just 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
That's what their offer was.
For A-Rod? Wow.
I
But
mean,
Green Bay has no leverage.
Yeah, we got leverage.
Okay, keep the quarterback and pay him $60 million, sit on the bench.
We done that. We're still gonna win just as many games, no matter if he's sitting on the bench or not.
That's a whole nother subject there that I wanted to talk to Craig about, but Craig was just he's in his other world, and Craig will make little summarizations about something that you said that you didn't say. So that's what he does.
No. You know what? You've accused me of this crap before, too. You said, Tim turning back history. He wrote history.
You do.
History on me.
You do.
No.
You rewrite history a lot.
No, I'm saying you blame Craig for the same things now. So it's a
No,
pattern.
no. Craig doesn't
pattern.
rewrite history. You say something, and then Craig summarizes what you said, but says something totally different than what you said.
That don't sound right.
Yeah,
This is what he
look.
does.
I've known him for 30 years, and he
That's
has
what he
been
does.
known to kind of twist and turn and
That's what
put
he
some
does.
words in your mouth. I wouldn't say just they're out of nowhere though. He's smart enough to take what you're actually saying and then twist it. So it's,
Yeah,
it's
he
not like
uses what
it's
you're
out of
saying and twist
nowhere.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be something
He's
totally
not just
different.
creating this whole like new dynamic. No. It's just he's smart enough to take what you said and twist it around. But
So Craig is a twisted T.
Twisted Tea, Long Island. Yeah.
Is that what he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds about right. All right. So with Green Bay again, waiting on Aaron Rodgers' situation, but they did lose Alan Lazard and they lost Randall Cobb, Robert Tonyan.
Don't care.
And they only brought in a safety, so they're going to be doing a lot of their building through the draft and after the draft free agent signings because they no longer count against your compensation formula. So I'm pretty sure Green Bay wants to get those comp picks next year for the guys they lost.
Yeah.
So Tim, how are you feeling about this whole Green Bay Packers situation? And I mean, what are you looking forward to from a fantasy standpoint?
Nothing. Nothing. What looking forward to? I mean, we're all in the same boat here. Y'all Saints fans, and I'm a Packers fan. I might be in a much worse scenario. Y'all are a couple of years ahead of us, right? And so, you got Derek Carr now. Y'all doing, you kind of like on this upside now.
Exactly, bro.
But I'm on the downside, coming down, and then, but we'll see. This next year's gonna suck. I'm gonna hate it. We got Aaron Jones though. I think we kept Aaron Jones.
Yeah, you have Aaron Jones on the team still, along with AJ Dillon. But let me ask you about Jordan Love, because that's assumed to be the starting quarterback.
Yep.
Your former first round pick. The whole reason why Aaron Rodgers is going to be leaving town.
Look,
why is it that we all assume he's going to start?
Well, he's going to start because he's going to start. That doesn't mean he's startable. Okay. So look, we traded some crap and moved up into the first round all of a sudden to pick up somebody, and it thought it was a crap trade anyway. We could have waited and still got the same guy without like giving up a second round pick or whatever we gave. We gave up our first and second to move up like 4 spots or 3 spots to get a quarterback, which was dumb. But it is what it is. We got the highlight of that is that we got Christian Watson. All right. We got Christian Watson. All right, and Dobbs is pretty good. I like Dobbs too. Now,
but you don't have any faith in the Jordan Love to Christian Watson connection, like.
I don't have any faith. There's no faith at all. No, like none of this going on right now. And so, but it's going to be I'm just going to accept the fact we're going to stink for a year, maybe 2.
Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, but literally like a couple years behind the Saints. We lose Drew Brees, and we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Now you know how we felt a couple years ago. So there you go.
Yeah. Twist that knife a little deeper, Kyle. Thank you.
Exactly.
But look at our division, man. We got Minnesota, we got Detroit, and Chicago. So we've been on top of our division for a lot of years, and they're all kind of coming up right now, and I'm excited to see what happens because it's going to start getting bad if we don't.
But you were openly rooting for Rodgers to get traded, so you're openly rooting to suck. That's what you want.
No, I wanted Rodgers gone last year. I want to keep Devontae Adams and get rid of Rodgers. This year, I want to get rid of Rodgers, but I want, I'd love to have 2 second-round picks. That'd be great. 2 early second-round picks. That'd be great, dude. We'll take it.
So what do you think you're going to get with these 2 second-round picks? 2 starters?
Yeah. Have you seen pull up our depth chart again, Dell? Let's tell us where they're at. Just draw a big old circle on the whole website. All right. There's going to be where we're going to get starters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
You know.
All right. Well, there we go. Straight from the Green Bay Packers fan. All right.
Yeah.
All right. The last team to wrap this podcast up with, Minnesota Vikings. Let's look at some of the things that they did. Let's see, they lost Adam Thielen, they lost Irv Smith, Eric Kendricks, and Patrick Peterson. These are, I'm sorry, and they did resign Madison. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Alexander Madison. I was really hoping he went to a different team because I was figuring he was going to get like a starting position somewhere else. So it kind of sucks seeing him go back.
Yeah, it does.
And key additions for Minnesota, Marcus Davenport, the defensive lineman from New Orleans. We know all about him. And rumors are that this guy is hurt right now. So enjoy that. Hurt? Yeah, enjoy that.
Good. So
he does a lot.
I will say that their rumor is that they're trying to shop Cook.
Yeah, Delvin Cook. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They're trying to shop Cook. So
yeah, he's missed a few games, and then we signed in Madison. Madison can clearly handle the load. Getting another young back to go behind him, get what you can for Cook. I think that'd be a good idea.
How do you guys feel about this kind of scenario that we see playing out? Same thing with Dallas, Zeke and Pollard, right? They're holding on to running backs, pretty good running backs, developing them for a couple of years and letting them come in and take over. And then where it's not so much, they're just drafting the running back out of the first round and using him right away. Some pattern for that.
I like being able to go with a veteran and not have to really count on a young guy right away. I think it lets them develop, and you can coach them, because running backs coming out of college, they've never really blocked for picking up pass protection, and so that's always a learning curve. Now running the ball is no problem, because this is what they do. They've been doing this forever. But that blocking is always a learning curve. And then they have to get stronger, because you come in and come for the greatest weight program like Georgia or whatever, but sometimes you're just not ready until you get into that NFL weight room. And then you get in there for a year and put on the kind of muscle and learn the kind of things they want you to learn, then you can be effective. I believe that's a good way to go about it. And then paying old running backs is not really a good investment, because you see Delvin Cook been getting hurt a lot these past couple of years. So last year's probably going to be his worst year. I think he's just, on that downward trend, period. So
yeah, gotcha.
Yep. So what do you guys think about Kirk Cousins as a whole, just him just as a quarterback? Because I heard somebody argued, like on NFL Network, that maybe they should look at getting rid of Kirk Cousins and maybe going for a guy like Lamar Jackson, because you got a guy like Justin Jefferson out that wide receiver. And you're wasting his best years, because Kirk Cousins is only going to get you so far.
What you mean by wasting? What are we talking about here? Justin Jefferson has been phenomenal.
But you don't have anything to show for. You get to the playoffs and you win and done.
Get smacked,
Yeah, so you're not doing much more than a 7-9 team.
That was a pretty sorry, 13-4. You win the division, run away with it. Looks great on paper, but you had all these kind of wins that were shaky, and you beat the Saints in London on a chip shot field goal that bounced off the. It's their wins were kind of, they didn't really make a huge statement. They won the division. They deserve it. They earned it. but they weren't like a dominant team.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Kirk Cousins is the problem there. I would say no.
Preach on, brother Cobb. I like it.
I'm saying Kirk Cousins he's one of those dudes. Want to keep him around. He's an upgrade on. We were just talking about Jared Goff. I feel like I would rather have Kirk Cousins. He's proven kind of more to me recently.
Oh wow, you take Cousins over Goff?
Yes, I would. I feel like Tim, it's not a crazy thing, right?
Yeah, well, Cousins over Goff, yeah, slightly.
Yeah, fantasy standpoint as well as if you want somebody to run your team,
I traded Cousins. So look, I traded Lamar for Cousins a couple of years back before he broke out, and then I traded Cousins away because Cousins, Goff, they're the same dude.
So Fantasy Pros has Cousins ranked 15 and Goff at 19. So they agree with you, Kyle.
There you go. That's exactly what I'm saying.
They also have Aaron Rodgers number 20. So do you agree with that?
Yeah.
His career is about to be over. Dynasty wise, his career is about to be over. So yeah, dynasty wise.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right, well, huh?
Maybe Rodgers is doing us a big favor. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go back one more year. Y'all get all the draft value you can out of me, okay? I'll go play for the Jets.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what Green Bay quarterbacks do. They go to the Jets. That's what they do.
And then Minnesota.
So, all right, y'all. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us this week. We'll be back next week, talk about 2 more divisions, the things that's happening in free agency with those teams, and we'll talk about NFL news that pop up because it's all relevant here in the fantasy world. So
yeah,
I'll leave you guys with this.
I hate you guys so very, very much.
And we out.
Love it. Money.
Remember to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at BSnBEER Media. Or if you're old and want to write a strongly written letter, email us bsnbeer@icloud.com.